Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and we're starting out this video just talking about the trade deadline a little bit, and make sure you hit that like button. And we're going into a crucial 3-game set versus the Astros. But before we get to that, we want to talk a little bit about Jay Bruce. You know, he's got the power versus right. He's not hitting that well versus lefties or righties this year. I mean, it would be one thing if he was splitting, hitting better versus righties than lefties, but he's just not doing well at all. He doesn't have great speed. His fielding isn't that great. He's versatile in the way that he can play first base and the outfield. But I think I want to unload that contract. It's on the books for the next 2 years. And I do want to look at somebody similar here. Eric Thames from the Brewers. So he's got the same amount of power, a little bit more actually, better discipline. He's got better arm strength and accuracy, and he's got better speed. So when he gets on the base paths, he can actually score with 49 speed. So I actually like his contract too. He's only got a $5 million contract only for this season. Going into his arbitration year, we necessarily don't have to keep him. He is a little older, 32, but I think it's a good deal because if we swap guys, we cut all that money off the books, and also we get somebody that's better on the base pass and that's a better fielder. So we do decide to work out a deal getting Steven Alamiz, I think is how you say it. And he's a shortstop. We do need middle infield help in our organization, and I do want to see what he can do. He's actually doing pretty well. He was an all-star this year at 23 years old. But we do have to give up a couple of guys here. Ricardo Sanchez, who is a C potential 21-year-old starting pitcher, and Connor Sadzik, who is B potential and 59 overall. So we are going to execute this trade. We're pretty much swapping power hitters, but we're shaving off a bunch of money here. And we actually get him off the books for next year as well, and we get a shortstop prospect as well. So I like that deal. That's the only deal we're going to make going into the trade deadline. This is the last day. But one other move I'm going to make is moving Tim Beckham over to DH and moving JP Crawford over to shortstop because he does have a better arm. But before hopping into this 3-game set, look at the Astros. They're offering us a trade before we even play them. And they want Mitch Haniger. Everybody wants Mitch Haniger. He is under cost control, only making $600,000. But look at who they're giving up. Brad Peacock, B potential, 86 overall. He's 31 years old, but he has great pitching attributes as he's only had 14 starts this year. He's 2-5, so he's not having the greatest of years this season. But, you know, this is intriguing. I got to admit, this is intriguing. He is in his 30s now. And they are trading for a guy who is in his 20s, and then they're willing to give up Will Harris. I mean, this is a tough trade to turn down, I gotta admit. But Mitch Haniger is just having a down year. I think that's all it is. I think he's just having a down year, and he's on his way up. I can't lie. And I'm just looking at to see who they would be replacing here. They would be replacing Josh Reddick in right field, who isn't too bad. I mean, I gotta be honest, he's not too bad in right field. But, you know, I just don't want to give up on Mitch Haniger. He's 83 overall. He's still progressing a little bit. He's 28 years old, and he's under a cost control. Look at his, hitting zones. I mean, it's all red, and he's got plenty of quirks there, and he's got great arm strength. I just don't want to give up on Haniger. I believe in keeping guys as lifelong team members, so maybe he's one of those lifelong Mariners. We did get him from Arizona a few years ago, so he hasn't been here his whole career, but I mean, just showing some loyalty. I believe in that. I don't want to give up on him just yet. So looking at the top prospects, Justice Sheffield is a number 3 prospect in baseball right now. He's at 62 overall just because of his player morale, but he's really 66. And then scrolling down here, Jared Kelenic hits the top 550. He hits the top 50. He's 41, and he's actually starting out in Double-A. I moved him up a couple of weeks ago. And he's actually I did move him up a couple of weeks ago. I actually moved him up after the All-Star break, and now he's hitting, I believe he played a couple of games. He's hitting like 250 or something like that to start out. So here we go. We're hopping into this 3-game set, the battle for first place, and we're facing the Houston Astros, who have pretty much dominated this division the last couple of years. As you know, they went through a drought too. Remember, they were like the worst team in baseball like 2-3 years in a row. And maybe we don't have to hit that low. So we do face Brad Peacock, who they just offered us in trade. So I guess we get to see what we could have had in this game. So here is Malik Smith starting out the game here, leading off. He's getting a hit to center field, and that one is going to drop in front of the center fielder that time. And here is Mallex Smith with a leadoff single to start out the series. Here is said Mitch Haniger at the plate. He hits one hard up the middle off of Peacock, and I guess we made a good decision right there with that hit. And he moves Mallex Smith over to third base on that one. So now up comes Domingo Santana, hitting .310, doing pretty well. He's making his move. He's making a statement, and I'm all right with him being underrated, as he did not make the All-Star game. So here with guys on the corners here, 2-2 count. He's going to hit one to the right side. That's going to get past Altuve, and Reddick comes up throwing, but our run does cross the plate as we get on the board here, taking the 1-0 lead. So no out still in the inning. Here's Vogelback at the plate. He's going to swing at a low slider and strike out on that one. He's hitting .278 on the season. And here comes Yonder Alonso to the plate. His first game starting since we did trade for him. We had to throw him into the last trade with Carlos Rodon. And with 2 outs, he grounds out to the shortstop that time. And now we move on to the bottom half of the inning. So here is Carlos Rodon on the mound for us. And there he is getting a strikeout here with Carlos Correa coming to the plate. Hitting .300 on the year, and he gets a little blooper that time to Vogelback at first base. And we get out of that first inning. So on to the top of the third inning. Peacock facing Domingo Santana at the plate. He's going to take one deep to right field, and that one is going to be back at the wall, and he's going to hit a home run. And Josh Reddick doesn't even go for that one. I'm surprised he didn't even try to rob it. I don't know if he would have got it, but Domingo Santana makes it a 2-0 lead here in the third inning. So let's move on to the bottom half of the inning. Here's Carlos Rodon still on the mound and striking out Josh Reddick. And maybe Josh Reddick's been struggling, and that's maybe why they wanted Mitch Haniger. And with 2 outs, we do get the pop-up back up to Rodon on the mound, and we get out of that inning, no damage done. So I want to show Mitch Haniger some more. Here with a 3-2 count, he's hitting one up the middle, and another hit off of Peacock, as this makes me feel a lot better. He's getting going in this game. So with 2 outs, Domingo Santana is 2 for 2 in this game. He lets one go on the outside, and Mitch Haniger is going to advance to second. So now we got a man in scoring position here, and Domingo Santana has been hot at the plate. 2 for 2 in this game, and on a 2-1 pitch, he's going to get a hanger over the middle, and he's going to take that one right back up at Peacock. And Haniger is on his horse headed home, and he is going to score. So 3-0 here on the road in the first game of this 3-game set. So here in the bottom of the 5th inning, can Rodon keep this great pitching going? He gets Robinson Chirinos to swing on the outside changeup that time for his 5th strikeout of the game. Marcinick at the plate. Here's Tim Beckham playing third this game. He's going to dive and knock it down, but not going to be able to throw out the runner at first base. So now, man on first base here. 1 out. Rodon facing Reddick. But we do catch Marcinick falling asleep, and we pick him off. That's the first time I think I've ever picked off somebody on MLB The Show. So here with 2 outs, here is Reddick still at the plate, and we swing, and he swings at an outside slider, and we get out of that inning. Rodon is just showing what he's got here, only giving up 3 hits through 5 innings. So here they bring in Wade Miley out of the bullpen, and here comes Tim Beckham here. Hitting .277, he's moved out of the 3-hole into the 5-hole, as Domingo Santana has proven that he can hit there. But Tim Beckham showing his power on this swing, and that one is gonna be gone into left field. And we all know that's a short wall in left field, but it's tall, but that one gets enough legs and gets over, and we take the 4-0 lead here in the 6th inning. Rodon still on the mound here, but facing the next batter. He's gonna give one up deep to right field, and that one is going to be gone. And just like that, it's going to be a 4-1 lead here off the home run from Brantley. So here comes Alex Bregman at the plate. He's going to ground out this time to D. Gordon at second, and we get the first out of this 6th inning. But with 2 outs, we do get Altuve out. Correa comes up 0 for 2 in this game, and he swings at a changeup on the outside part of the plate, and we move this one into the 7th. Here is Mallex Smith at the plate, hitting one to the left side, and that one is getting through for a leadoff single. And now we got a man on first with this hot top of the lineup here at the plate. Here's Mitch Haniger. He's taking an outside fastball on that one, and he's getting on with the walk. But here's Domingo Santana with the ground ball, and look at the throw is offline to Altuve. So that makes bases loaded here. Daniel Vogelbach at the plate with the chance to maybe explode this game wide open. So here on a 1-2 count, Wade Miley going to throw one low, and look at Vogelbach. He hits a little tapper back to the pitcher, but Malik Smith does have the speed to score on that. And we do take the 5-1 lead, but here, still with one out in the inning. Tim Beckham up to the plate. 1 for 3 in this game. He takes an inside slider, and that one is way off as they actually change pitchers here. As here is Yonder Alonso at the plate. 1 for 3 up to this point. He gets a hanger over the middle. He's going to drive that one to the wall, and that is going to score 2 on this one. And just like that, we take the 7-1 lead here in the 7th inning. What a start to this series our offense has had. So J.P. Crawford, remember, he's been hot so far since he's moved up, and he hits one over to the left center gap, and that one is going to drop in. That's scoring 1. But look at us. We're going to try one. Yonder Alonso with 3 speed. Can he make it home? But no, he's getting thrown out at the plate as J.P. Crawford tries to stretch that one into a triple. He does that, but doesn't score the second runner from home. And Omar Narvaez comes up, pops one up to third base, Alex Bregman, and that one is going to be the 3rd out of the inning. So we move on to the bottom of the 9th inning. Here's Elias on the mound. He's getting a pop-up to right field. Mitch Haniger, that's a can of corn. And now we get it to 2 outs here. 1-2 count with George Springer at the plate. And he's going to strike out on a high fastball, 96 miles an hour. I really like Elias out of the bullpen. He's doing a lot for us this year. A good lefty. Now we have 2 with Diekman. And we come out with the victory here in the first game of this 3-game series. And Domingo Santana and Mitch Haniger have big games. I'm really excited for what the middle of the lineup is going to do in the second half of the season. They're just tearing the cover off the ball. So here in the second game, we're facing Justin Verlander here. Mike Leake versus Justin Verlander. And look at Leake. He's pitching pretty well, only giving up 2 runs through 5 innings as we kind of shelled Verlander. And look at this, 5-2 going into the top of the 8th. Bases loaded. We get a couple of more runs, so 7-2. And Mike Leake is still on the mound. He goes the distance, and we win that game 7-2. So now we're pretty much with a half-game lead over the Astros for first place, 59-54, and they are 58-54 as we face Colin McHugh, who's having a great year, 9-3, 2.94 ERA, 110 strikeouts to 33 walks, 118 whip. I mean, he's doing pretty well for the Astros. So now here's Malik Smith to start out this 3rd game in this set, and he's getting a hit up the middle. Man, Malik Smith, I love him when he's getting these leadoff hits to start out games. I mean, it's just a boost to the rest of the offense. Mitch Haniger up to 241 now, but he strikes out on the inside fastball, and he can't catch up to that heat. Domingo Santana, who's been the hottest hitter so far on our team in this second half so far, and Malik Smith on a hit and run swipes the bag, but Mitch Haniger strikes out. So Vogelbach at the plate. He strikes out on the low heat. He can't keep up with that one. And McHugh does get out of the first inning with no damage done. So we do get to see Yusei Kikuchi, 6-7, 1.52 whip, all above average, 4.98 ERA, below average, I meant to say. And you know what? I'm going to try to get him going in the second half of this season because, you know, I think we have new life. I mean, a lot of guys are starting to come around. Mitch Haniger starting to come around. Domingo Santana, Omar Narvaez all hitting over 300. I mean, I think we can help out Yusei Kikuchi definitely. And seeing the spark that we've got from J.P. Crawford, I think we can help him out. So let's get him some wins in this one. Here is a blooper to right field, though. So right away, he's getting into a little bit of trouble. I believe that was Correa at the plate. And now they got guys on first and third. Here's George Springer, and he gets walked. So Yusei Kikuchi loads up the bases here in the first inning. And that's bringing up Josh Reddick, who they were just trying to replace here. And on a 3-2 count, he gets an inside fastball. He can't keep up. And Kikuchi does get out of that first run with no run damage. So now here's Tim Beckham here in the 5-hole. Remember, we moved him down, hitting 278 on the year. He started out with a leadoff walk. So here is Omar Narvaez at the plate, still hitting over 300. He gets a hanger. Altuve fields it in the hole, but the throw is offline. And that's 2 consecutive errors in this series that I've seen, noticeably from the Houston infield. And now we got guys on first and second. J.P. Crawford at the plate. He's going to hit one deep to left center. Correa is on his horse. He gets to it, but we do tag up from second. So now we got guys on the corners here with 1 out in the inning. And Eric Thames gets his first start here at the DH spot. So here on a 2-2 count, he's going to hit one hard to left field, and that one is going to be deep enough for us to tag here, and Michael Brantley is not going to get the runner at home, and Tim Beckham slides in safe, and we take the 1-0 lead. So here is D. Gordon at the plate with the 3-2 count here. 2 outs. The runner is on the move, and he hangs one over the middle, and look at D. Gordon showing some rare power, and that one is into the home bullpen. And that is a home run. D. Gordon taking care of business in that 9-hole, and it's a 3-0 lead. So Mallex Smith, can he continue this inning? But he does fly out to Michael Brantley in left field. And man, D. Gordon showing off some power. So on to the 3rd inning. Here is Mitch Haniger at the plate. And look at this, man. I'm telling you, I'm so glad I did not deal Mitch Haniger. He just hits the ball hard. Every time I see him hit, he's hitting the ball hard. And that's going to bring up Domingo Santana here in the 3-hole. And it gets a hanger over the middle of the plate. And he's going to drive it to right center. And Mitch Haniger is going to score there with that 62 speed. He's got good speed from right field. And that is going to be RBI double for Domingo Santana. And perhaps the hottest hitter in baseball right now. So here is Vogelback at the plate. He's going to keep this inning going. But that's a ground out to Altuve. But that moves the runner over to third base here as Tim Beckham comes to the plate. Here on a 2-2 count, he's going to hit one to the right side, and that one is going to get through. Wow, the middle of our lineup is just hot, and I like what we're doing. We give Yusei Kikuchi a 5-run cushion. So here, with guys on the corners here, a little bit of a jam here in the 4th inning. Kikuchi does get a line out to J.P. Crawford at short, and that brings up Marisnik here in the 8-hole, and we do get a strikeout. And we got lucky on that one. That was a fastball right over the middle of the plate, but Marisnik cannot catch up. So here in the 5th inning, running into a similar situation with Altuve at the plate. Guys on first and second, and Kikuchi gets his 5th strikeout of the game. And Correa comes up here with 2 outs, and he's going to ground out to Crawford. And I really like the way Yusei Kikuchi is pitching out of these jams. So on to the top of the 7th inning. Mitch Haniger at the plate here, facing Wade Miley out of the bullpen, and he's going to get a pitch to hit, and that one is going to be driven over the center field wall, and that's a home run. Mitch Haniger is showing why we kept him in the trade. He comes through with that home run, and we take the 6-0 lead as we are 2 innings away from completing the sweep here on the road from the Astros. But the Astros are still in this game. Here's Jose Altuve starting out this game, starting out that inning with the hit to left field. And here comes a 3-hole hitter coming up and driving that one to right center. And Mallex Smith is going to play that one off of the wall. And that one is going to be a run scored. So they finally do get across the plate here with no outs in the inning. So here in the bottom of the 8th, here is Springer with a liner to shortstop. And now we got 1 out here. So now here's Josh Reddick at the plate. 1-2 count. He hits one to right field, and Mitch Haniger is going to camp under that one. And the runner does hold. So now here's Gurriel up with 2 outs in the inning. And we walk him there on a 3-1 count. We put Tui Valala in the game. And here is Jake Marisnik, hitting 162 on the year, but on a 3-2 count, he gets a pitch to hit, and that one is not coming back, and Houston is right back in this game. They cut this lead down 6-4 here in the 8th inning, but they only have about 4 more outs here in the game to come back. So now we do keep Tui Valala in the game facing Stacy, and he is going to get the strikeout here on the inside corner slider, and we do move on to the bottom of the 9th inning. Anthony Swarzak, we bring him out of the bullpen. Can he get his 28th save on the season here facing Alex Bregman? He gets him looking on the outside part of the plate here on a 2-seam fastball. That's 1 out. Michael Brantley, ground ball up the middle. J.P. Crawford with a nice spin and throw, and he's got it out at first. That's 2 outs. We're 1 out away from completely taking over first place and completing the sweep. And here's Altuve at the plate. He hits one to right field, and that's what we wanted. And look who makes the final out in the series, Mitch Haniger, and that's a way to end it. Swarzak gets his 28th save on the year. We take over first place with a 1.5-game lead here on Houston, and I love what I saw in this series. A lot of lively batting, and I just like what I saw from our pitching as well. Yusei Kikuchi pitched pretty well. Rodon pitched good in the first game, and Mike Leake went the distance in the second game. So that's going to do it for this episode. We're going into the month of August and September with a little bit of a streak here, and let's just see what we can do. So hit subscribe, hit that like button, stay tuned, let's get it. More Mariners franchise coming, let's go.